What is up, guys? Today I'm coming at you with an update video concerning the avermedia 2 Plus capture card. Now, as you can see, we're into the new generation. I got the Series X here with me. No PS5, as I still have yet to find a game that I really want to play on the PS5. More than likely, once God of War comes out again, I'll probably be buying the PlayStation 5. That, and it's extremely hard to get your hands on one these days. So, even harder than it was to get one of these. So, that being said, this isn't an Xbox channel or anything. It's just that's preferably what I like to play on. I play PlayStation, I play the Switch, I play PC. It doesn't matter to me. Now, with that being said, if you are like me, who was using the avermedia 2 Plus capture card, you're probably gonna wanna leave that device in the dust. As you can see, I don't even have mine plugged in anymore. That's simply because even the One X, it could push out 4K 60 HDR, right? My TV can use it, so it was a no-brainer for me because you can't use the 4K 60 HDR10 with the device. It'll just let you pass 4K in that high resolution, which is, I believe, 244p or 1044p or something like that. Which even then isn't the highest resolution. So I just went ahead and disconnected mine as it was. So you'll probably down the road, I'm not saying everybody has to, but this is one of the concerns as to why I made this video in the first place, is this device is outdated, and the new Series X and PS5 have their own softwares, which it's a plus for most of us, and it's a downside for the device itself, simply because Xbox and PS5 can record in their native resolutions at 4K 60 HDR10. And just like the PlayStation and the Xbox, you can go ahead and use that footage however you want. With the Xbox, you can go ahead and put it on your smartphone, your tablets, on your computers, and you can download that footage natively to the PC or whatever storage device it's saving to, and edit it that way. The only upside to having to use a avermedia capture card was to record party chat audio, which is a pretty big plus, specifically for like people who want to record and do let's plays or just show your footage of you and your friends gaming it. So that's the only downside or upside to using this device still. But these devices, there's so much features that come in with the higher resolutions that you're not going to want to use it. With that being said, avermedia has gone and made 2 new devices. I'm not sponsored by them, but I do use them a lot, like the microphone and the capture card. So I'm kind of familiar with the brand, and we're already on the topic, I might as well let you know. There's 2 new devices, which is the Bolt and the Ultra. Now, both devices, I believe, do not save to an SD card or memory card. Both of those devices have to be plugged into a computer or your laptop just to save. You can also stream on them just like you can on this one, on your favorite platform, OBS, straight to Twitch, whatever it is that you want to do. I have no actual use since my laptop itself can't receive an HDMI in, so I've never tried streaming. Besides, it's not really my thing. Other than that, I'll go ahead and jump into the details on what you could use on these new console generation. Alright, let's start off here with the new product by avermedia, the Live Gamer Bolt. So this one's more advertised as the new product, the staple of avermedia. Compared to the Ultra is a smaller device. It's an older device actually, that was targeted for just 4K recording before the Bolt came out. So the Bolt kind of is your go-to device now for the new basically for your new Xbox and PS5s. So here we have the Bolt, which is now here advertising 4K 60 HDR. So now you can record in HDR. But like I stated earlier before, now you're no longer saving to an SD card. You're now sending that signal straight to your laptop and recording off of your software on your laptop, off of your favorite software too. You don't have to use whatever ones that it comes with, even though it does come with two new ways to record, but I'll get into that. Yeah, you can even do live businesses here, and like I said before, this device now does 4K 60 HDR, so now you won't be able to miss on some of those new color popping cinematics. it even advertised that you can do up to 240 frames per second. I'm pretty sure that's going to be in 1080p versus the 4K, since you pretty much can't push those out on Xbox or PS5. Um, yeah, you got low latency too, since it will be pushing on the 2.0 USB. I wish it was 2.1, but I don't think they've updated their stuff for that. Um, yeah, let's see here. And yeah, it tells you that it's going to be a more stable experience, and even at a massive 240 frames per second in full HD. Um, yeah, so you could even use some of your favorite ones like the OBS XSplit, and I forgot which the name of this one was. I'm only familiar with these three. I'm not sure. I've never used XSplit. Even then, you guys know me. I'm not really much of a streamer. But yeah, here's a good way of to tell you how you're going to be using it. This is my exact setup, except I was saving to an SD card. So in this case, I believe this device records in Thunderbolt 3. So you're going to be pushing out outsource over to your laptop in Thunderbolt. I don't think it does HDMI in or out, simply because there is a lot of laptops that don't have a HDMI in, so that you can use your screen as a way of displaying information, unless you're doing what I'm doing right now, where you're broadcasting the signal from the laptop onto another screen. But yeah, that's kind of the drawback there. But that's kind of cool, because most gaming laptops these days come with one Thunderbolt 3 port. So you're just taking advantage of that, which is it's nice, seeing as you'll be able to push out those quality numbers that you're seeing, the 4K 60 HDR. That's all thanks to using the Thunderbolts for its high late or low latency capabilities on those cables. But yeah, so here's a little diagram of what it looks like it's going to be pushing. So you're going to be you're using your console gamings to push it into the live gamer bolt. The bolt itself will push it out to your display, and you're going to be recording it however you want to use it, 4K 60 HDR, over to your laptop and your desktop through Thunderbolt 3. Now these are some of the specifications, in case just to go into it. And yes, it's going to be an HDMI 2.0, not a 2.1, which is kind of what Microsoft tells you to use for your Series X, is a 2.1, just for low latency issues, and you don't want to see tearing on your screen. But yeah, so here's the max resolutions that this device will be pushing out. This is just a pass-through resolution, so you'll definitely be able to see in 2160p 60 HDR, 1440p with 144 resolution frames per second, and 1080 240 frames per second. And guess what? You can record in those exact same specs. That's the beauty of using this new device, that you can record just as much as it can pass through. The sky's the limit here. Unless you're for some reason trying to record your 600 frames per second footage from your PC. At that point, you should have a capture card in your PC to record all that. Um, but yeah, and you are limited, because you can't just go ahead and start recording on an older laptop, especially if you have like an HP or Dell laptop from 2007. Yeah, you're gonna struggle, but most modern ones should have enough juice to go through. But it says here that they're stating that you need at least a GTX 1050 Ti, or an iCore 7 for your laptop, which is, I'm pretty sure most people are going to be using their laptops. But in case that you do have your desktop, yeah, the specs are a little bit more wide as to what the minimums are. Yeah, even you can use GTX 650, 4 gigabytes, but that's just so you have enough to support those high refresh rates. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure your laptop will struggle to record all that footage, because you have to run it through a software. Yeah, you can even got your max if you go ahead. But look at here. It says 2019 or 2018, but you gotta have the Pro. So it seems like these specs, you can't just have really crappy laptops or computers. You're gonna have to have something pretty decent to go ahead and record this footage. It's a drawback versus as saving it all to an SD card. But the issue with that is that you can't record in those high frames, because at that point they start adding fans and whatnot. to the devices. But yeah, this right here sums up the new Bolt device, which is pretty cool. It even comes with RGB lights, just like a regular PC uh, accessory. And RGB lights are on the rage. But yeah, I definitely prefer to go this route. And if I do continue on YouTube, I'd probably more than likely will end up having to buy myself a Live Gamer Bolt. Um, but seeing as I don't post regularly, I'll just stick to the stuff I have and not get crucified by my girlfriend for wasting more money. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out um, the other device real quick. Products. Okay, here we have the Live Gamer Ultra. So this is a older device, not by a lot. This definitely came out after the portable device. Um, but this one also advertised 4K 60 HDR, which was the first one, right? And you can receive the signals. And this whole spiel was on being able to record in high frame rates for 244. But it operates the same way. You got your HDMI in and your HDMI out for your display, and it'll send all that signal through your Thunderbolt into your laptop. Um, but this, it looks like it comes with Thunderbolt to USB, so that's kind of neat, actually. Let's see here. 4K 60 HDR pass-through allows you to enjoy mesmerizing 4K HDR gameplay and record at 4K 30, not 4K 60. Oh, but that's in HDR mode. So there's a bit of a drawback there, you see? Now I don't think I saw this for the Bolt, so I think that's the higher contender just because it's newer too and it doesn't look like an old piece of hardware. But I'm pretty sure the prices here are going to speak for themselves. Easiest setup ever, as they claim. And see, like I'm telling you, after a while these devices have to be having their own heat sink simply because of how much information is being passed through or recorded on them. But yeah, you could even customize your resolutions so that your device knows exactly what you want to record at, which is kind of neat and something you don't really get on the other one, on the older one. And it even comes with a free version of PowerDirect 15, so you can do your own editing in case you do not know what software you want to lean into, or you're barely getting into it, and you want to make sure that you have something to edit videos in, which I don't know if Windows Movie Maker is still around. That thing's ancient, but it's nice that you pay top dollar for a top dollar device that comes with a way to edit that footage. They know their market, so it's kind of cool. Alright, so here we got the same setup for the other ones. You got your console coming in and pushing out to HDMI 2.0 and 4K 60 HDR, and then you're going to go ahead and link through USB 3.1 over to your desktop or laptop. Yep, USB 3.1 Type C. So it's almost like the Thunderbolt, but it's the older model, Gen 1. It's going to be Type C to USB A, I believe. And then, yeah, we got the HDMI. Everything's recording in HDMI 2.0. So, let's see here. Okay, pass-throughs. 2160, 60 frames per second HDR. Ooh. So, here's I'm pretty sure it's going to be the only real difference between both devices. We have the Bolt, which could record at 2060 60 frames per second in HDR, whereas the Ultra only records in 2160 30 frames per second, no HDR. Now you can enable HDR for 1080p 60, so you'll be able to tell, and you'll be able to. It just depends on what you really want. To be honest, 1080, 2160, 30p is more than enough, and I don't even think that YouTube will support those frames. But at the same time, if you're going to be using that footage for something other than YouTube, or you're streaming or whatever, you're going to want at least the minimum of 1080p 60 frames in HDR, just so your viewers always have something nice to look at. It also depends on your internet, but I'm not going to get into that. It's for a different topic. So you see the differences here. I'm pretty sure this device is going to be a lot cheaper than the one than the Bolt. Simply two, the Bolt has way more features, and I'm pretty sure it's newer. They're gonna charge top dollar for that. And it also records in MPG4, which is nice. That's the best format to be editing in. Okay, let's go ahead and check out the specs, or the system requirements. Oh, okay. Where the other device gave you for the laptop a GTX 1050, it's telling you must have nothing lower than a GTX 1060 or above, or an iCore i5. Same for the laptops, you're gonna want an i7, a NVIDIA GTX 1050 Ti. Okay, I read that backwards. This is for desktops, and these are for laptops. Yeah, it's supported, and here's the specs to run through, pass through. And now we have a little bit more wide um, set of settings for Macs if you're running on Apple lap products. So we have the iCore 7 for just a regular Macs, Radeon Pro, but you're gonna definitely need the RAM there. It looks like same thing with the Mac Pro, and then the specs for 1080 at 60 frames per second. Yeah, it looks like you're still gonna need an i7 or above. Um, Definitely still gonna need the RAM. It looks like it doesn't really change too much between if you're trying to record in 4K 60 or 1080. But yeah, definitely. Now let's go ahead and check out the prices, simply because it's definitely where you're gonna have to make your decision on what product you're gonna wanna go ahead and use. I'd go ahead and check out Best Buy, simply because you can definitely get rewards for buying these products if you go through Best Buy like me, um, for purchasing these stuff. But Best Buy doesn't always have all of the devices in stock, and they always have one or the other. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give you the prices for avermedia, as they'll have all their products. So here we go. And yeah, let's see. Live Gamer Bolt running you at $499, almost $500. What you're gonna pay for your PS5 or Xbox Series X. And where we have the Ultra that's sitting at $249. That's a price of a Series S, if I mind you adding by like $40. But yeah, definitely if you're gonna be taking this route, that's mainly because you're already in this game. You're already looking for a new um, update to your older device. This would probably be the route that I would take if I want to continue taking YouTube seriously. Or if you really want, if you're dedicated, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go ahead and get yourself an actual capture card that goes inside of your desktop. That's the route you always want to go. It's the best one. Um, you can't go wrong there, simply because you'll always have all the juice. You can do so much more than you can on these devices. You can have your cameras synced up, all your lights and all that jazz. Have those beautiful setups that are advertised. But yeah, and our good old faithful here, still running you probably the cheapest at 120, I believe. Um, but yeah, now my microphone. Yeah, I trust avermedia. It's pretty good, but at the end of the day, money speaks, and it depends on what you're going for here. And simply because these aren't like a portable device, they go straight to your laptop. You are going to need a computer, so if you don't have one, that's definitely something you want to look forward to. And if you're just trying to share footage with your friends amongst each other, this will always be the budget contender and the #1 winner, simply because it's almost hands-free, even though you do have a bunch of cables to connect to it. And it seems like a lot of people have problems with powering one of these, as it's posted on my previous video. I'm just surprised at how much issues this device has. But yeah, no. Overall, I think the contender here is the Bolt, for not for price, but for features in this new generation for Series X and PS4s. And I'm pretty sure once we have the new mid-season refresh of the consoles with the beefier specs, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to push out a higher FPS, one would hope, on both consoles. So even then, this device won't be outdated, and hopefully your $499 investment continues to work for you. But yeah, that's definitely going to be it for me, guys. Thank you for sticking around. I just trying to make some YouTube videos right now while I'm not at work. So thank you guys for sticking around. If you guys definitely want to see more, please drop a like. Let me know what kind of content you guys want to see. If you guys want to see more reviews and talks like this, or just more Let's Plays, go ahead and drop that information down below in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys see this whole ordeal of capture cards for the average Joe. But yeah, alright, thanks guys, peace.